he doesn't know how exciting this news is. Did you know that 4 out of 5 men or women in America over 50 have this in common? It is not good news. Ah! See? Freedom's scared too. Oh! Oh! He is easily appeased. Like a good little girl, I grew up following the rules, but I never really fit in. Then I lost all I had, only to begin life again. So I ran away to the road, a tiny trailer in tow, and along the way discovered the truths I now know. So take a deep breath, grab a good cup of joe, 'cause this world it's a changin'. Inhale, here we go. Rose-colored glasses. So what I'm talking about is some type of chronic disease, meaning cancer, heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, some kind of fatal chronic disease. 4 out of 5. Yikes! That's 80%. That is such a high number. And now that I'm over 50, I don't feel old, so why do we all have so many chronic diseases? And that's really part of what all these vlogs are about. And I want to say this, I can't give you all your answers. The biggest thing that's happened to me in this fabulous cow farm nomad lifestyle is it's been a shift in the way I think about my life. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it is, like I've shared numerous times, is, I've spent most of my life not wanting to be alive, and to finally live in such a way that I'm essentially happy and want to be alive, except for the wind and the cold, but you know how that goes. But it's so different. And what I'm really understanding as I do more research is that it's a shift. It's a mind shift. We have an American or Western belief that it's the right pill, the right exercise, the right medical procedure, the right medication that will cure us, and then we can go along and have business as usual. And I'm not advocating that anybody else do this, and I'm not saying that you need to live in a different way. What I am saying is that you have to really decide. Nobody says that to you. You have to decide what kind of life you want to live and what are you willing to do to get it. Because it's not magic that all these people are getting sick, that so many people have chronic diseases. But it's real, and you think it's bad now? Let's go forward in 40 years when, if you're like me in your early 50s, what you're going to have to contend with in terms of healthcare systems and what's available. If you really want to be happy and thrive, now, it is never too late to start really deciding what you want your life to be about. And it isn't about one thing that you do. It's a different way of thinking how you want to be in the world. That's what I mean by going wild. That's what these vlogs are about. And I'm going to tell you a story in a minute that's going to blow your mind. The rabbits are about ready to start uber multiplying. I'm not very excited. It is so dusty in here. It's been the wind blows all the dust in. I haven't cleaned it up yet. So I wanted to tell you a story, and I'm going to do it as fast as I can because want. But I read the book, The Blue Zones, which talks about the 5 longevity centers in the United States and in other parts of the world. Interestingly, what they all have in common is they're islands, and then the United States, there's the Seventh-day Adventists who are in Southern California, who doesn't get any more polluted. That I lived right across in the next town over, so I know about that area. But what was really interesting was a guy who was born in, it was Greece or Italy, I think it was Greece, and he came here as a young person to America. He lived his life American style, but at age 60, he'd have been a painter. He got lung cancer, so he decided to go back to Greece, to Ikaria, Greece, I think, to die. And so he decided, he had 6 months to live, and he took his wife back, and he lived in the mountainous village of his roots and waited to die. Well, he didn't die, so he decided to plant a few vegetables, and he still didn't die. So he decided to start his own vineyard, because growing grapes for wine was very common, and he still didn't die. So he decided to get some sheep to herd, and he still didn't die 35 years later. Now, he's still alive. And so the American or Western response to that is, well, what does he do? What did he eat? How did he exercise? What kind of medications did he take? What kind of herbs did he take? So not the point, because every single one of these places has a different diet, a different lifestyle. What they have in common is a different mindset, with probably the exception of the Seventh-day Adventists. They're still pretty Western, but the rest of them, they just live their life, which really supports my theory that it's not what we do, it's who we are. It's not that special silver bullet treatment. It's how are you living your 24 hours. That is what creates your life. It creates your health. It creates your passion. And I believe that very strongly, which is really what we're talking about. So when I say going wild, to me, that's about returning to our natural state of being. And he lived the way his ancestors have lived for hundreds of years. And they have more, these blue zones have more people over 100 than most other places in the world. There's nothing special. There's no magic bullet. That's so American. If I can sell you something, I will cure you. Stop thinking cure, start thinking life. 24 hours at a time, as wild as you can get it. So the question is, will you be one of the 20%? And the important thing is even if you're 4 out of 5, if you're part of the 80%, you can change everything. The question is, do you want to? I hope so. That's what we're doing here at Survival Road. And with that, we'll see you next time.
Away from them, and no one can see me now. I'm miles above you, don't care what they're seeing below, 'cause I'm miles above. I'm miles above you.
That's home.